Hi guys, Laura here. So I have not posted a video in a very long time because I've been insanely busy, busier than I thought I would be. The reason why I've been so busy is because I decided to go back to school to get my master's degree. I seem to be just collecting degrees for different things. A couple years ago, I finished my psychotherapy degree because I wanted to write the book Thriving Life. And the reason why I decided to go back to school again is because I wanted to write a thesis on, now this is going to sound weird, but on how narrative therapy and creative writing can be used as a tool to help adoptees overcome adoption-related trauma and mental health issues. So that's a very long thesis statement, I realize, but a few years ago, I posted a video of my experience as an adopted child being rejected, and I was amazed at how many people went through the same thing that I went through. So I know that there are a lot of adoptees out there who have, they might not even call it trauma, but they have mental health issues surrounding being adopted. And a lot of that is because of the narratives we have developed and we tell ourselves. So one time, I was in touch with one of my birth brothers, and he had said to me that he thinks his mom is the issue. If you haven't seen the video of my adoption reunion rejection story, I'll post it in the comments below, not the comments, the description. I'll post it in the description. But basically, my birth parents married each other, and I found them, and they didn't want to have anything to do with me. And it's really hard to wrap your brain around why somebody wouldn't, but obviously they have their reasons. But one of my birth brothers had once told me that he feels the problem is his mother, and that when his mom, if his mom dies before his dad, that he would introduce me to his dad. And that was kind of heartbreaking for me because I've had a really good relationship with my mom, with the woman who raised me, who is my mom, and I had a really horrible father. So I've always wanted a dad, so the idea that she's the problem and that he feels that he would want to introduce me to his father if she were no longer in the picture. Anyways, I was talking to my daughter about this and telling her the story, and I said, it would almost make for a really good fiction story where the adoptee ends up killing the birth mother so that she could have a relationship with the family. And the more I thought about it, the more I thought it would be really fun to write that kind of story. But then I had to think of ways that story where the reader would still like and be rooting for the adoptee. So I don't think she could be the one that would kill off the birth mother. And then I was thinking, I want my happily ever after. And so I kind of wrote an outline, and I was working with an editor, and she said, the ending's really predictable, and it doesn't feel like there was much character development. Like, it was kind of obvious. And she said, what about this? And as soon as she said this, I'm not telling you what it is because I'm working on this novel, and so hopefully I'll get it published one day and you will be able to read who was the murderer and what the ending was, and if it was whether you thought what it would be. Anyway, so I just had this moment of, I thought this was the ending that I wanted, but when I worked with the editor and she proposed a different ending, it felt so much better and like satisfying. And I all of a sudden felt this peace come over me, which was really weird. And so I thought, I wonder if other adoptees could almost rewrite their narratives in a fun and playful way, or in a serious way, or, writing out your story and thinking that that's the ending you want, and then, rewriting it from a different perspective. So I did a lot of research on the idea of narrative therapy and creative writing, and it is a thing. And let me tell you, I've been in therapy on and off for my whole life, basically. And I have never had a therapist suggest narrative therapy or creative writing therapy to me. And as an adoptee, I think we're already living in what ifs or what could be's, because most of us, if we haven't had an open adoption, we don't know what the true story is unless we've actually met our birth family. So I think that it's so interesting that therapists could use narrative therapy and creative writing as a tool to help adoptees overcome any mental health issues they have around being adopted. So I wanted to do some research and come up with a thesis paper that deals with this topic. So I was trying to find a program of study that would kind of support that, and it's so niche that it was really hard for me to find something. And I found this program. It's an interdisciplinary studies program. It's called Interdisciplinary Studies, and it's so wonderful in theory. So basically you pick 3 different disciplines, and then you take courses from each one of those disciplines and draw from the expertise in each one of those in order to support your thesis. So it's not like I'm just in psychology. It's not that I'm just in, English or whatever field I want to be in. I'm in 3 different disciplines, and with those I can, formulate this paper. Fantastic. It seems so great, right? The biggest frustration is, number one, you have to find 3 different thesis advisors. So I emailed so many people, and a lot of them almost want to reserve their support for students in their program. And because interdisciplinary studies doesn't technically have a program, we don't have any professors. So that was one frustration that I didn't expect. The other frustration is we have to get permission to take courses in a discipline or a program that is outside of ours. So you'd think that, okay, one of mine is psychology, another one is English. Well, you think that I would be considered a student of psychology, a student of English. Well, no, I'm not. I'm an interdisciplinary studies student, so I need permission to take those courses. Now, if I was a student, let's say in humanities, I would have a bank of courses to draw on, but because interdisciplinary studies doesn't have any courses, we don't have that bank of courses. So if I was a humanities student asking to take a psychology course and they told me no, I would still have other humanities courses that I could draw from. We could do directed reading courses where we create our own course. We come up with a syllabus and our assignments, readings, all of that. But then you have to find a professor who will support that. And professors don't get paid extra to take on students and directed reading courses. So there's no incentive for them to take on students. So you're basically asking a professor, please, will you give me your time? And they're not really getting anything back for it other than, their love of being able to help support a student. So I didn't realize it would be this difficult to just put together my program. And all of the walls that I was kind of coming up against was really frustrating. So that's what I've been spending my past, month and a half. Well, actually more than that, because it started during the application process. But when I actually got accepted into the program, having to put together my program, because I'm designing it myself, it doesn't exist, has been super frustrating. So really, really wonderful in theory, but really, really frustrating in reality. But I still feel really lucky to be able to have a program like this, that I can work on a thesis that is like a passion project for me. So I'm doing 2 things. I'm working on a thesis and I'm working on the novel. I haven't written fiction before. I've just written nonfiction, and it's really fun and exciting. And I found a professor who's supporting me in that. So yeah, that's what I've been up to and why I haven't posted many videos lately, because I've been swamped, you guys, you have no idea. But yeah, I guess you're never too old to go back to school. So I just wanted to share what I've been up to, and hopefully I'll be able to post more videos consistently over the next little while, and I will keep you abreast as to my progress in this program. So anyways, thanks for watching and bearing with me and staying with me even though I haven't been consistently posting. I appreciate you hanging around. Sticking around. I appreciate you sticking around. All right, guys, bye for now.